Your breath is like your fuel tank and it makes your vocal engine run. And that's why it's so important as a public speaker, as a presenter, to be mindful of your breath. Now, if you've ever done some breath exercises, you may have heard of this term called the diaphragm. Truth be told, I heard about it a lot at my training at UCLA, and I was so tired of hearing about my diaphragm. I didn't care about it. I couldn't visualize it. I didn't understand what it was. So, this is my attempt to get you to be excited about your diaphragm because your diaphragm is the muscle, the powerhouse that makes your breath move from your lungs up through your voice. Our lungs don't really do anything by themselves, they just sit there. It's the diaphragm, this lifting muscle that pushes up your lungs and pushes the air up and out of you. That is so important to think about when you are talking because if we're putting all the emphasis here in our throat and we're talking and we're throating it and we're noticing that we're straining, it means that we are not breathing and breathing deeply enough. When we think about our diaphragm, we take a deeper, fuller breath, and we can talk for hours using diaphragmatic breathing. So we've got our lungs here in our diagram, and then we've got this diaphragm. It's underneath your lungs. It separates your lung cavity from your abdominal cavity, and it's this really thin muscle. And again, it helps push up our lungs. Let me give you another image here. Think of your diaphragm like a fisher person's net. And it's one of those nets that comes up and goes back down. So when we take in a nice big inhalation, our breath expands in our lungs and our net lowers down. It catches the air, right? When we breathe out and exhale, our net, our diaphragm, lifts up and pushes the air up and out of us. I hope you enjoyed my analogy. I tried to make the diaphragm as interesting, exciting, sexy as I could. That's my attempt. I want you to think if you can isolate and sense your diaphragm. So, one cool thing to do is you're going to take your hand, you're going to put it right at your sternum, and you're going to reach right for where your rib cage comes together, where your two sets of ribs come together, right underneath your sternum. And then go ahead and give yourself a little fake cough. Right there, you're going to notice this pretty strong muscle reacting. That, my friend, is a little sense of where your diaphragm lives. And then take a nice big breath in. And you can feel that interaction with your diaphragm. As well as your diaphragm, you've got your abdominal muscles helping support the big D diaphragm. And then you've got these little gummy muscles in your rib cage that help open up and expand. So you have all of this to utilize for your breath support, for your fuel, for your breath. And you don't have to just throat it because you will wear your voice out. You will be tired. You could even possibly damage your voice. So use that big engine that is your friend, our breath and our diaphragm. Class dismissed.